It's Wexley spills the tea. Mr. Wex, what are we doing today, man? What are we doing? Is it Arizona?
Something like a Long Island iced tea.
Ooh, Long Island. All right, nice and spicy. What do you got?
Lots of different variety.
Let's start with WWE. What do you got going on in the Big E these days?
So the biggest thing, WWE just announced yesterday. Your boy Pat McAfee just signed a contract extension, which I think is fantastic.
As well, he should. Yeah,
it's one of the best things that's happened to WWE in recent years, and I'm glad to see him stay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that he has single-handedly revitalized Michael Cole's career as well. I feel like Michael Cole he has just improved his game. He's a lot more related. I feel like he has more, and it's not just because of his time, because obviously he's been around since like 97, 98. But I feel like he has more actual quality with the fans. You know what I mean? Like he has. Like they still trust him, you know what I mean? Like we're now to a point where he has like equity with the fans, and like he's I feel like he's being less produced, which is helpful too. Like if you go back and listen to the Cole of 10 years ago, I don't know. I think that Pat McAfee himself is doing a great job of like bringing everything that he can to the table, and helping Michael Cole get back to a great level again is definitely his finest achievement thus far.
McAfee is one of those multi-tool players, and probably the first that has such an outreach aside from WWE that's actually worked long-term, I think, especially on this level. And it's a fucking incredible move for the company.
I totally agree. What else we got on the list, man?
One thing I guess that was finally announced today, which there's kind of been rumors and speculation going on for weeks, but I guess Sasha Banks and Naomi have officially been removed from the internal roster of WWE.
Gotcha. So they're getting the Paige treatment when she first left. Is that what's happening?
I guess so. So
they're getting paid, and
they are.
Chilling.
I mean, there's lots of speculation. We didn't know if they were going to come back, but I guess if they're off the internal roster as of now, they are gone.
Wow.
There
I mean, it makes
and apparently
sense to me.
there's already been some Sasha Banks like non-WWE affiliated signings announced. So.
Gotta jump right on it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that all
going.
plays out. They might give her a cease and desist unless I don't know how that's gonna work. We'll see.
The other WWE news. I mean, I didn't really keep up with Raw this week. I know Finn Balor wrestled in pants, which is really weird. I don't know if I can ever unsee that in my mind. It doesn't really. Yeah, he's wrestling in fucking pants and like these weird boots, like not kick pants. He's got a whole new fucking look going. It looks really weird, and that's the only main thing that I can remember from WWE this week. The Vince McMahon saga continues, but nothing seemed to really change except only thing, he appeared on UFC the other night, and he looked a lot worse than he did on WWE TV because he's not all makeup and all looking nice for the camera. He looked pretty rough on TV, but he was there. He's out there. He's out here. He doesn't.
Yeah,
give
he
a
looks
fuck.
terrible. By the way, guys, like if you've ever seen him, like I mean, he looks.
I think he knows he's dying.
Super old. Yeah. I mean, it's not. It's the end is nigh. But we'll see, man. I don't know. Good old Vinnie Mac. Wow.
Hey, the only person that looks worse than old Vinnie Mac, I would say, is Bart Durham. If anybody knows who that is.
Yes, he is a walking zombie. He's literally like a coffin cookie, just walking around straight up erect and everything. It's wild. I will say though, Triple H looked great. Triple H looked great in that photo.
He definitely did. They also announced, they mentioned the WWE people and AEW had Jim Ross and Tony Khan in the crowd too, because Jim Ross loves him some fighting, some MMA. He always speaks about it. So some really fucking interesting news, not coming from WWE, kind of on the indie scene here. Marco Stunt is apparently starting a promotion.
Stop. Just stop, dude.
Yeah.
Stop.
He's starting a promotion like in like the Memphis, Mississippi area.
Why? There's no reason for that. It's just such a.
I didn't tell him to.
Ugh.
No, he's.
Ugh. I'm just so. There's too many. There's too many places, man. There's too many places.
That seems like such a misfire for somebody who has such a deep affiliation with a bunch of the touring indies. And
what
stuff.
Are you doing?
Like, you could take your market and your territory and make it work without having to add yet another set of letters,
It's a bad idea all the way around. There's no way it lasts long term. It's bad idea.
I mean, honestly, he should learn from the Authors of Pain, whose promotion WES Wrestling Entertainment Series, what seemed to be pretty promising. It looked pretty good. We were like, oh shit, the card looks cool. Maybe this will be cool. But now it's been completely fucking canceled. It got rescheduled once. Literally over half the talent canceled after they rescheduled the first time, and they only sold 300 tickets to a 10,000 seat venue. So shit got fucking canceled, and they were trying to blame the wrestlers in a post pulling out oh, so many of the talent couldn't make it, so we had to cancel the show. And Nia Jax was pissed because she publicly pulled out of it weeks ago, and they were still using her image on the posters promoting it, saying she was still going to be there. And it was just it's bad news, and I'm kind of disappointed because it seemed promising at first. What do you guys think about this shit?
I mean, I feel like it did seem promising for sure, and I was actually kind of excited about it, but I can't say I'm surprised. I can't say that. I mean, it looked too good to be true, and 99.9% of the time when it looks too good to be true, it is too good to be true. So yeah, I mean, I feel like the Authors of Pain, I mean, they were a cup of coffee thing anyway. So it's when it happens, it's yeah, I mean, cool. I hope it works out for you guys. This would be awesome if it's great for everybody. The fans benefit, you guys benefit. It's a win-win. That's cool. But it did feel like when I first heard about it, the Authors of Pain have a promotion now, and they somehow booked all these people for a bunch of money. That's the only way I can figure it out. It's I think they were just yeah, we're just going to give you whatever you want. Oh yeah, I want 25 grand for this match. Cool. We'll give it to you. No problem. And then they were they finally get the whole card book. They're oh, the card's stacked. Oh, all we got to do is come up with $4.5 million, guys. We'll figure it out. And they just don't. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what happened.
Or maybe the money mark backed out.
Yeah, or the money mark backed out. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because he would have lost his. Yeah, I mean, come on, 300 people. I mean, God, he would have lost his ass. I mean, I don't know. That's crazy.
It seemed like the minute they announced it that there were complications, even before the initial reschedule, and there were people kind of saying, well, we're not actually sure we're going to be there and stuff. And, that kind of cripples it from Jump Street. But it's a shame because there is definitely a hole in the market in the UK. But, I mean, sheesh.
Yeah.
Yo, Jesse, so what was the promotion that was pre-TNA that Jeff Jarrett worked in Australia? It was called World Wrestling All-Stars
It was, I want to say, the name was something close to that. I mean, they did that Hogan tour thing. And then, God, what was the name of it?
Yeah, that's right. WWA, World Wrestling All-Stars. That's right.
Well, that has WES has WWA vibes. That's kind of what it felt like to me.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All these dudes who used to work for the big company who don't have a job right now, these random big names coming together for this random ass fucking show. That could be good, but
They did that for a second with XWF too.
Yep, same shit, dude.
For a cup of coffee down in Florida with Jimmy Hart and Hogan, Brian Knobbs, and it's
oh yeah, those DVDs. I think I've watched Wrestling with Regret.
Wrestling with Regret.
Wrestling with Regret. No, Wrestling with Regret with Brian Zane. He reviewed a couple of those DVDs, and that's how I actually went to go watch them from watching him review them, and that shit is fucking ridiculous. You guys want to see some shit?
Oh, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about it. You should post a link to it.
Hell yeah, we should definitely get into that.
All
right, so I guess we'll go ahead and lean into some AEW shit. And so as we mentioned, Ring of Honor, they finally announced pay-per-view coming up, Death Before Dishonor, the 23rd.
Nice.
And FTR has already put the open challenge out for the Briscoes, who accepted for a rematch for the ROH World Tag Team Championships. Yeah. Ooh, that's just man, that's I'm rock hard thinking about it, baby.
Yeah, I think that they're leaning on this Briscoes thing, and I think that the court of public opinion is turning in the favor of the Briscoes. I think people are it was a long time ago. He said he was sorry a bunch, blah, 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 blah. So it's yeah, I mean, maybe this will work out. And I think that also they're really feeling the effects of the Jeff Hardy situation. So now, I mean, you broke up the Jurassic Express. Your tag team division is kind of dwindling as far as actual viable threats, especially for a brand that you're about to relaunch, essentially. So to me, this is a win-win for everybody. I think that it helps the Briscoes, it helps FTR, it helps the brand of Ring of Honor. It's a win-win.
You also got Joe and Lethal, which is going to be a guaranteed banger of a match, no matter what.
Yeah. Exactly. Lethal is fucking it's gonna be amazing. And we got Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia for the Pure title, which
should be good.
I mean, those and they're kind of like how they're keeping that feud across promotions with the same, like I like that idea, kind of like New Japan and other promotions do. You can have stables across promotions, which I think is fantastic. It's just, it kind of keeps it more interesting.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. I feel like it would be better for a guy like Wheeler Yuta to not be in the Combat Club and be like, once Ring of Honor is launched with the TV show that they're planning to launch, I don't think that there should be cross-pollination unless it's at a pay-per-view. I don't think, like, at all. Like, I don't think you should be able to be in a faction and have Moxley.
Like Bullet Club, where you'll have the one guy
like
in the other promotion who's still carrying the flag, but
I don't like that.
But it's not like they're going to be on TV every week with him, but he's still like, those are his boys, and he's still repping it. I like that shit.
I think for now it works because there is no TV for Ring of Honor. I mean, it allows them to kind of be able to build the pay-per-view.
Yeah, for now it's fine. I agree. For now it's fine.
But yeah, I think once Ring of Honor has TV, they're going to have a separation, or the brand's going to be worthless.
Yes, I fully agree. I just really hope they don't try to do this like the initial brand split in like 2002, where it's like it's Raw and SmackDown, but it's really not. Like it's like it's Raw and SmackDown for all of 3 weeks before it's something else, and it's like that. You can't do that. Ring of Honor has to just be Ring of Honor. AEW has to just be AEW. Separate rosters. The only time they cross-pollinate is at a pay-per-view. Period. Not send a guy down just like for one time for a feud, or send a guy. No. Like Ring of Honor wrestlers are Ring of Honor wrestlers, AEW wrestlers are AEW wrestlers. You can have them cross at pay-per-views and have those quote-unquote dream matches, and that's it. Like you can't, not stables in both. I don't like that. I don't like it.
Well, to each their own, but as you were talking about how they broke up Jurassic Express, Christian turning heel is probably the best fucking shit to come out of that. And Turtleneck Christian cut another fucking awesome heel promo because Matt Hardy tried to come out and be like, well, I was his friend too. And he said, Matt, are you kidding me? Like, he's like, we've known him forever. He goes, you're starting to sound like the sober. No, Jeff's starting to sound like the sober one. And I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like that's Christian's. He's been dropping nuclear fucking bombs week after week, and I love it.
Oh, the heat is great. I actually like. So I saw that, and I like in the deepest parts of my mind, I really wanted like Matt Hardy and Christian Cage to like be a duo as heels. I feel like that's like there's some massive untapped potential there. Like just to be like because I mean they just have so much gripe. Like as a heel team,
turns on him and joins Christian. God,
so
damn.
good. Like I mean, because to me honestly, it's like. Heel Christian versus Matt Hardy babyface sounds terrible to me. Like I'd have zero desire to ever have any kind of involvement with that. But I will agree that I think the character that Christian's doing now is awesome. I feel like he's finally getting some flowers these days, and that's great. And I'm looking forward to how this whole thing pays off. I think like having a decent Jungle Boy, Christian Cage, like solid 30 to 40 minute match is going to be a banger for sure.
Agree.
I agree. Hell yeah. So finally, they got the shit moving in the right direction. Scorpio Sky dropped that TNT championship to Wardlow, which was a great move, which they should have did weeks ago. But I think that the MJF like shit really kind of like haltered Wardlow's momentum at this point, because it really like fucked up everything, because he was really like going, and then it was like, oh, MJF's gone, and then he did like some stupid shit for a couple of weeks. I really think they should have just skipped that whole into that Sammy Guevara bullshit and went straight into the Wardlow program.
No, I completely agree. I mean, it definitely hurt him, but he still got enough steam. I mean, when he won, the crowd went crazy. I mean, like,
oh yeah,
he's fine. And also, I still to this day believe that the whole entire MJF thing is still a work, and I think that it makes the most sense for Wardlow to have the title now, and I feel like any time now, maybe at the next actual AEW pay-per-view, it'll be a big surprise, and MJF will come cost Wardlow the title, or will help Wardlow retain the title so they can go into a feud or whatever. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but I think that we have definitely not seen the last of MJF versus Wardlow. That being said, hats off to Wardlow for being the TNT champion. It was a newsworthy note for sure.
I'm happy that Wardlow survived that stupid ass 25 security guard jabroni fest that they put him into, because that was scary for a second. It's like, please don't keep doing stuff like this. Like, you can't ruin the guy. But he looked great.
Yeah.
And yeah, the crowd they were with it. So As long as they let the MJF heat die down just enough to where people kind of like aren't actively talking about it all the time, then that whole thing is going to work like gangbusters.
Yep. Yeah. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, they wouldn't have him off TV this long. I was like, dude, it hasn't even been 2 months.
Yeah.
It has not even been 2 months, guys. Like, just chill. Like, it's got to be at least 90 days. It's got to be at least 3 months. Like, at least it has to be. Like,
and whenever he just randomly fucking shows up, once we just kind of forgot about it, dude, it's the pop is gonna be fucking insane.
Massive.
He's gonna be a babyface at that point, right?
100%.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think.
Or do you think he's
so.
just gonna get that pop and then be
I
like,
think he's gonna get a
tease
babyface
him and then
pop.
be like, fuck you, and then turn it back
straight
at him.
up. But yes, I think he'll get the massive baby face pop. I think we'll all absolutely love it. And I think that he will find a way to have us booing him out of the arena by the end of that entire interaction. I feel like, and I have enough faith that he is the guy that can do that.
Oh, he's definitely capable of that for sure. It's one of those things, though, where I feel like they're so short on babies that if he comes back and gets that pop, Tony's inclination is going to be to try to run with that. But you got to listen to the crowd, too, though, because the crowd doesn't want to see babyface MJF.
I have no desire to ever see a babyface MJF. I know I will at some point, but I have zero desire to see it right now. Yeah. What else we got, man? Are we done? Are we done?
Only other funny thing that I will mention, in the past couple months, we've saw this crazy shit with Buff Bagwell here on the social media. And it turns out it's not really Buff Bagwell doing
It's DDP, isn't it?
No, it's some guy that was like grifting, like getting money from fans and selling merchandise and not giving them the money and like posting all this shit that wasn't Buff Bagwell and it was just really weird. A really weird fucking situation going on.
Didn't he say in an interview that like Dallas Page and his team were running his Twitter account or something like that?
No,
I swear to God, he said
Dallas
something like
Page and he said that's like the people helping him. He's in like doing a documentary with him.
Yeah, he
said
was
he
in
has
the recovery
a
house. He got like in a
social
fight with
media
somebody and had to leave. Like,
oh my God.
Something like that. So, but he's still working with him. He's just not in the same house as the rest of the people because he couldn't get along with anybody.
God damn, but
sounds correct. Yeah.
All I know is that I saw literally a video from in the past year of him saying, like, just basically spitting some conservative right-wing shit, the opposite of what he's been expressing lately on Twitter, like literally saying, Donald Trump's literally, he's the best president of all time. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you were just spitting this shit, but people like to grift, people like to get some money. So Buff Bagwell's out here. I don't believe his story about that dude named Matt or whatever the fuck his name is who's taking the money. Buff Bagwell's taking that goddamn money.
When you said it's just some guy grifted his fans and not selling money and whatever, and I was like, how is that not Buff Bagwell?
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds exactly like Buff Bagwell to me.
100% grifting out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Yeah, well, you know what? I think are we done with the news now? Are we done with the tea? Is the tea over with?
That's the spices of the tea right there. Is old Buff the stuff getting caught fucking around.
getting caught. Oh, Lex, you're one of a kind.
Scotty Riggs was better.
CowboysForAngels.com. Never forget.
Oh my God, never forget. R.I.P. and peace.
American males.